Want to master English communication quickly and effectively? Well, I'm going to share 8 simple habits that will have you speak English like a pro. Now, these habits are super easy and very effective, especially for professionals like you. So let's dive in and find these 8 super simple, super effective daily habits for learning English. Our first habit is practice English speaking every day. So you need to talk in English to learn English because it's a skill. And how do we do that? There are 3 simple ways that you can employ. The first is talk to yourself. Yes, you can talk to yourself. For example, if you are on the way and going somewhere, talk to things that you see. Oh, the building is quite imposing. When you reach office, you can talk to yourself. Oh, this guy is late again. So you can use simple sentences like this and talk to yourself. The second is choose a language partner. Yes, you can choose a language partner maybe in your office, your colleague. Ask him if he wants to learn English and you talk to him maybe for 10 minutes, 15 minutes during the break. Or you can also have an agreement that whenever we meet, we'll only talk in English. If you don't get any partner, no worries. You can be your best partner. No? So start doing that. And third very important thing is join online communication forums. So there are many online communication forums that you can join and start talking with them. But remember one thing, you need to talk in those forums, not chat. Chatting will not add much to your English. Talking will. The second habit that you should follow is read something in English daily. So it can be online or offline, but you need to immerse yourself in English. So what you can do? Again, 3 things. Number 1, read newspaper. So newspaper can be a very good resource. So you can have an online newspaper, or better if you can have an offline newspaper and spend some time with it every day. You can read books or maybe short stories. So self-help books, they can be very useful for you if you're a learner of English. So take one self-help book and start learning. You can note down some important words, vocabulary, and try to use them whenever you read newspaper or short stories or maybe a self-help book. So the third thing is that you can follow blogs or social media pages. Yes, make sure that these are in English. So it can be a fashion blog, it can be a tech blog, but try to find out some words in there and then try to use them as well. So let's dive in to our habit number 3. And our habit number 3 is watch English content every day. So you need to watch English content every day to learn English. So how can you do that? I'll tell you again 3 ways to do that. So the first thing is you need to watch TV shows or movies in English. So there are many TV shows and movies that you can watch with subtitles and try to make sense of what they are saying. But the important thing is don't follow them word by word. Try to make sense of it. And the second thing is you can watch YouTube videos. Should I suggest you a very good channel? You guessed it right. Learn English with Zita is a very good channel that you should follow if you really want to learn English, because we teach English in a practical way there. And the third thing is follow podcast. You can also follow podcast, that is video podcast. So now we have audio podcast and video podcast as well. So you can follow them and of course improve your English speaking skills. So the fourth habit is listen and repeat. How do we do that and why should we do that? Well, listening improves your pronunciation. If you are repeating, if you are imitating, it also gives you a different accent or intonation. How do we do that? Well, 2 ways. First, shadow conversation. So listen to a dialogue or listen to a podcast and try to imitate the speaker, the way the speaker was speaking. And when you do that, you try to capture the accent. Do that quite often. And the second thing is, a part of that, imitating the accent. Yes, imitation is good if it is giving you something, and there's nothing wrong with that. So what you can do is, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch television and mimic how the speaker emphasizes certain words. And you try to follow them and imitate them. So our habit number 5 is learn 5 new words every day. Yes, you should expand your vocabulary by using these words. Remember, when you read a word, the word is not yours. When you write a word, it's not yours. But when you speak a word, it becomes your personal property. So whatever you are learning, try to speak those as well. You can create flashcards, in fact. That is my tip number 1 under this. So what you do is write few words. For example, meticulous, vivid, keen. You can use all these words or leisure and try to use them in your day-to-day speaking. The second thing that you should do is always use them in sentences. Never write a word and its meaning. Write the example also. An example that should concern your day-to-day conversation. And when you do that, you will learn those words and try to speak them quite often. And the third important thing is test yourself. After every 5-6 days, test yourself with these words. How many of these words you remember now? Participate in a quiz and then do it yourself. And habit number 6 is keep a journal in English. Keeping a journal or writing a diary is a very important part of learning English. How do you do that? Simple. Whatever you have experienced in the day, you can write it in a journal and use very simple language, but use the words that you have learned now. So for example, words like vivid, leisure that you just learned, you can use it here. The second thing you should do is write your thoughts and reflection also. So thoughts like, what do you think about your journey of English learning? Write it there and write reflection about it as well. How it is going to improve your English speaking skill. No? So you can do that. And then set goals and track progress. So what you can do is you can set your goals, that how many words that you want to learn or how much you want to write, and then track your progress as well. Let's go to our next tip. And our next daily habit for the day is thinking in English. Yes, you can think in English. People say how? Very simple. So our mind is working 24/7. You just need to give command to your mind that yes, I want you now to think in English, not in some other language, and you'll start doing that. So how do you do that? Well, switch your inner dialogue to English. So you're always talking to yourself. So when you talk to yourself, switch your dialogues in English. So that means stop thinking in your native language and start thinking in English. For example, instead of saying, "Mujhe bhook lagi hai," say, "I am famished." Now you're talking to yourself, you're thinking in English. And second, describe what is happening around you. When you are alone, you can think and describe whatever is happening around in your office. And the third thing you should do is you should practice problem solving in English. So if you have a problem, you generally think and reflect a lot about it. Now you can do that in English. Try to do that and you will get tremendous results. And our habit number 8 is ask questions in English. Asking has power. Anybody who can ask questions will also get the answers. So do that quite often. So the first thing is ask for clarification. Don't hesitate to ask questions if something is not clear to you. So you can say that, could you explain that again? Do that quite often in your office or anywhere. The second is ask questions on different forums. Maybe you can go on social media page and try to ask it. It will remove your hesitation about asking questions and that will make sense. And third, ask your language partner. So as I told you, you have made a language partner, I hope by now. So try to talk to him, try to ask him a lot of questions. And questions are the answers. Believe me, if you can ask questions, you will get answers also. So how do you find these habits? If you follow these habits, they'll definitely make you a speaker of English. If you like the video, please share it with others. And yes, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, Learn English with Zita. See you there in our next video.